So just before I start my presentation, a little bit of background on the dating market and why we got into this. So India is a ex-colonial country, so we've been ruled
Sorry
by the
to interrupt.
British.
Is the presentation on the deck on the presentation mode? I mean, if you could switch the presentation mode on your screen.
Iman, can you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, can everybody see the screen now?
Yeah, I can see the screen. I mean, it's fine. It's not a problem. I mean, it's not in the presentation
Yeah,
mode, but it's
I think actually the problem, Kaushik, is we never used Microsoft Teams, so that's the problem.
Yeah,
So
we
we always use either Gmeet or Zoom. So anyway, it's a challenge for us. So anyway, so coming to this, that India is an ex-colonial country ruled by the British for 200 years. So knowing English and not knowing English is a great, not only a language divide, but also a social divide in India. Okay, right. So India is the second largest English-speaking market in the world after USA. But the fact of the matter is only 9.8% Indians know and speak English. So 90% of India, which is a huge population, more than almost 120 crore Indians, do not know and speak English. Right. And if you look at the youth market, India is one of the youngest populations in the world, with a median age of 28. There's a huge youth market between 18 to 35 years who live in the suburbs of large towns and in the small towns who do not know English, and they do not have an option today for online romance because all the dating apps in the country are in the English language. So that is why we created Flutrr, which is a vernacular dating app. We have done it now in 16 Indian languages. On the way, we had to create proprietary tech for safety and privacy of women to onboard small town women. And we had to create a business model which caters to the hinterlands of India. But before I get into that, let me give you a brief outline of the online dating market. Anyone, next slide. Yeah, so the online dating market in India is 3,600 crores. It's the second largest dating market in the online dating market in the world after USA, growing at 20% per annum. But we believe that this is only tip of the iceberg because what the dating apps have done in the country in the English language is they have penetrated only the metro tier one high income, high disposable income youth, which is a very minuscule part of India's population. We are actually going for Bharat, which is the large part of the population, which is completely untapped with online romance. So that's what I said. Although this market looks big, this is only a tip of the iceberg because I believe not more than 1.52% of the youth population of the country has been penetrated by English dating apps. On to my next slide. And this dating market, of course, is very hot. I mean, in terms of mergers and acquisitions, there have been $1.3 billion pumped into this industry in the last 5 years. There have been 73 acquisitions. Hello? Hello? There have been 73 acquisitions. Can somebody go on mute, please?
there is some background noise, I believe. Can everyone mute this audio?
Yeah. So there have been 73 acquisitions at an average price of 148 million and 4 IPOs. Anyone go down? So as I said, there are 500 odd million youth who are non-English speaking, 18 to 35 years, who mostly stay either in the suburbs of large towns or mostly in the small towns of India. And today, with cheap internet available in the remotest corners of India and with smartphone prices tumbling, they consume almost the same content as, let's say, a Pedal Road or a Adiyar kid does. Okay, right. So their aspirations are same. They also want the same things. But language is not only a barrier in terms of English, but also social divide, which they can't cross because they're not fluent in English. So that's the market we are going after. It's a huge market, completely untapped. And I'll show you some data which will tell you how we are being able to do something which the English dating apps have not been able to do at all. Uh, Next slide, Anirban. So the competitive landscape is very simple. There are international players like Tinder, Bumble, and there are Indian dating apps like Truly, Madly, Isle, but all of them have stuck to English. Next slide, Anirban. So the Flutter edge, which is our edge, is number one, of course, the vernacular plate. Second is, as I said, we realized that to onboard small town women, we had to create proprietary tech for safety and privacy of women. We created an AI algorithm based on matching, based on passion, interest, and also astronumerology. And we had to create a business model, a revenue model, which is very different from English dating apps, because English dating apps charge very high monthly costly premium subscriptions, which Bharat is neither willing to pay or can afford to pay. So we had to create a microtransaction led business model, which is catered to the hinterlands of India, and we started monetizing through advertising. Go down on even. So some of the proprietary tech which we had to create for women was number one, to prevent fake profiles. We had to put in a face recognition algorithm. We have to give women the power to, for private mode messaging so that they can wipe the messaging out of their mobiles and the man's mobile. We have to give them blur filter during video calls. We do not allow screenshots of women's profiles to be taken by anybody and circulated in WhatsApp groups. They can block known contacts because if they don't want their cousins or their friends to know that they are on the dating app, and they can also hide their location. So there are various features like this, out of which three features have already been copyrighted, and we are now going for a patent on those three features. Next slide, Oniman. So the business model, as I was saying, number one, advertising revenue. So there are a whole lot of brands which want to speak to this audience, and they come to us. These are both national brands, regional brands, hyper local brands, and we get advertising revenue from them. And we have got microtransactions for doing small little things on the app for 30 rupees, 50 rupees, 60 rupees, and they pay that and do that on the app. So this is a model which caters to the hinterlands of India, which I think even bigger players like Netflix have now realized, because Netflix started with a high premium. They brought down their premium subscription thrice. They couldn't penetrate the hinterlands. Now they're coming out with an ad-supported model. So doing business in India, especially in Bharat, is quite complex. And this is a model which has worked very well for us in terms of monetizing our eyeballs, monetizing our user base, and is catered completely to the hinterlands of India. Next slide, Anirban. Anirban, next slide. So we are also adding various revenue streams. Some of them have already gone live. For instance, we are thinking, Times of India has invested in our company, so we have tied up with Ghana. We are starting a service where you can gift music to one another and discuss about music on the platform. You can gift Flutter merchandise. There are relationship counseling services which we have launched. We have tied up with brands to give offers to our users, and when the users redeem the offers, we get a share of the revenue. And we are also looking at single meetups, events, and single meetup places where you can meet eligible singles and strike a rapport with them. So all these six revenue streams will have, two of them have already gone live, and the other four will go live in the next 2 months. Next slide, Oniman. In terms of go-to-market, we have used digital marketing. We use a lot of YouTube because that's something which is consumed a lot by the youth in the small towns. And we also have a huge campus ambassador network in tier 2, tier 3 colleges in the small towns, where these campus influencers promote our brand to their peers, batchmates, and college mates, and we get tons of organic acquisition from that. Next slide, Anirban. So we started this round at 500K to be raised, which is about 4 crores. We closed the round with Chennai Angels coming in. We closed with Chennai Angels in September. The money has already hit the bank. But we felt that we should extend the round by 1 crore more so that we can put more money into marketing, because we have now reached a point where we are looking at profitability by February, March. And if you put more money into marketing, the user growth will be exponential and the revenue growth will also be exponential. So although formally we closed the round, we finished 4 crores of fundraise, we still wanted to extend the round by 1 crore, and that's why we are here. Next slide. So the exit options for the investor, one is of course a Series A VC round, which we are planning in 2024, and at least a $15-20 million valuation. And the other thing is, once we have 35-40 million users in the hinterlands of India, any of the large global brands would want to acquire us, and that might happen in 2 to 3 years' time at 100, 150, or maybe even $200 million valuation. The current round we have opened at with Chennai Angels was $5 million, which is 40 crores, and we raised money through CCPS, completely convertible preference shares, at a 40 crore valuation. So anybody who comes in now at a 40 crore or $5 million valuation is looking to get a 4x return in 1 year, 15 months, or 20x. 20x or a 30x in about 3 years. So that's the proposition that we have for the investors. Next slide, Oniman. In the terms of the cap table, the co-founders and ESOP is about 71% of the company. The rest are held by angels, and Chennai Angels has just come in with a CCPS. Go down, Oniman. Go down. Yeah. So we'll be putting 50% of what we have raised into marketing. So just to give you an idea, our current cost of acquiring a registered user is about 3 rupees, and 3. So we want to put in 4 crores plus 1 crore. We are raising now 5 crores, out of which 2.5 crores will go into marketing. So at 3 rupees, we should be able to add close to 10 million or 1 crore users in the next 12 to 15 months. That will obviously shoot up our user base, that will shoot up our revenue, and will shoot up our valuation. So that's how we have planned it. Next slide. So the road, the milestones that we have set for ourselves: number one, deployment of the fund that we raise now over 12 months, clock a revenue figure of at least 60 lakhs per month, which will make me a profitable company, reach at least 5 million users in the next 12 months, and therefore reach a valuation of $15 to $20 million. Go down. Uneven go down. Yeah. As of now, the current matrix, we have just crossed 600,000 downloads. We have 350,000 active users. Last year from October we started monetizing from October 2022. So last year from October 2022 to March 2023, we did about 90 lakhs of revenue. This year we are clocking, if I look at the last 3 months, we are clocking a revenue of around 23 lakhs per month. My total cost, including marketing, is about 28 lakhs per month. So I'm burning about 5-6 lakhs a month. That is why I said very clearly that by deploying this money, we want to reach profitability by February, March, and then put the money completely behind marketing for exponential growth. Hold on, Ariman. In terms of co-founders, Anil is a co-founder. Anil is a Carnegie Mellon MBA. He was a director in Taj Group of Hotels, then Bombay Dyeing, and then RPG. He ran a PE fund for 17 years and brought in brands like Cookie Man and Foster's into India. I am the co-founder and CEO. I am a engineer and MBA from IIM Lucknow, 1992. 30 years in sales and marketing. My last corporate assignment was with a very large Indian media group, Bazar Patrika, and I set up the entire digital news business for them. Go down. Shurid is Shurid and I started my career together in Titan. Shurid was the Asia Pacific director of Levi's and then Crocs, based out of Singapore. Anirban is the co-founder and CMO. He's a Gen Z co-founder who brings the thought about dating and how youth are dating today and what they're looking for into the company. Anirban is a St. Xavier's College alumnus. He was an exchange student with Germany, and he worked in a startup for 3 years and is currently pursuing his leadership course from IIM Lucknow. Put on. We have two advisors. Alok used to head the Nokia business in the UK. He's based in London. And Ramki used to head Deutsche Bank in Europe. He is also based in London. Go down. So as I was saying, Times of India has done a brand capital deal with us where they have given us 10 crores worth of free advertising against equity. So that has proved to be a huge bonus because we now use the Times of India name in our advertising. And because of that, our cost of acquisition, which used to be 12 rupees, 14 rupees before Times of India came in, has dropped to 3 rupees, 3.5 rupees. So the Times of India name has added a huge credibility to our company. Go down. Of course, Chennai Angels, we've just closed the round with them. Money is in the bank, and that's a huge name to add to our cap table. They came in through a CCPS route at a 40 crore pre-money valuation, and we are very proud to be a part of the portfolio company of Chennai Angels. Go down on one. There was a Leap to Unicorn program started by IDFC First Bank in association with Money Control and CNBC. They identified 100 startups as the top startups of India. We were one of them, and we were the only dating app to be in the 100 top startups. And this was also a feather in our cap because we are not even 24 months old. We are about 20 months old in the business. And within 20 months, if we could enter the top 100 startups of India club, that was quite a remarkable achievement, I think, for our entire team. So that's that. Let's create we would like to have you on board as an investor and start creating a Flutrr in the online dating world. Thank you. Thank you. That's my presentation.
Thank you so much, Kaushik and Anirban. So just opening the poll for the investors' question, if there is any queries.
Hi, Kaushik. My name is Karan. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So you have 350K active users on your app as of now. Out of which, how many would be paying consumers?
Okay. So Karan, we don't track daily consumers. I'll just tell you a little bit about how we define active users. For us, an active user is one who opens the app at least twice a week and spends 8 minutes at least on each session. That's how we define an active user.
Okay, all right. But okay, all right. Take it. Thank you.
Thank you, Karan, and
Yeah,
thank you,
hi
Kaushik.
Kaushik. This is Vibhuti.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, I want to know that you have mentioned a revenue of 90 lakhs, 90 lakhs.
90 lakhs was last year, ma'am. Last year from October to March.
Yeah, so can you give me a breakup of this revenue? How you have earned this money from? What was the model of revenue for this amount?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. So when we started monetizing, we first started monetizing through advertising in October. Okay, right. So a lot of brands which are national, regional, and hyper local came in. So one of the things we did in hyper local advertising was, and it's a very unique model which we created, is that suppose you're a cafe in a small town like say Jhansi, right, and or Nagercoil, okay, for that matter. So you want to attract my users who are in that area. So you give me offer coupons, maybe a 20% off on a Monday or a 25% off on a Tuesday, and I push the offer to all my users in Nagercoil or Jhansi, and I charge you say 5 rupees or 10 rupees for every user that I push the coupon to. So it becomes a win-win-win because the cafe gets to push out an offer to users in that area. My users get an offer from a cafe, and I make money from the push. So that was one of the hyperlocal things which we did. And of course, there were national brands like ITC and Imami, ITC Engaged Dio, Imami Fair and Handsome, who came in through us with long-term deals. So that's how we started monetizing from October. From around March 2023, we started this microtransaction thing, which is where you pay 50 rupees to boost your profile, or you pay 60 rupees to see to buy super likes to send to opposite sex, etc., etc. So, but in last year's revenue, 90 lakhs, most of it came from advertising. But right now we are doing about 22, 23 lakhs per month. 52 odd percent is coming from in-app or microtransactions, and the rest is coming from advertising. And to be very fair to your question, we want to increase the in-app revenue because the advertising revenue is a lot dependent on the macroeconomic conditions of the country, and we don't want to be left to the vagaries of that. So our aim as a team is to increase the in-app revenue as much as possible, and even try to achieve profitability only through in-app revenue, so that even if the advertising market in the country tanks, we are not in a bad position.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And I also want to know, how is this model vernacular? Like, is it how is it possible that a Tamil boy will talk to an Odia girl? I mean,
Yeah,
does it facilitate that, or is it
yes.
vernacular that it is open for every language people? Yeah.
First of all, it's open for 16 languages which we have on the platform, and as you rightly said, if you're a Tamilian boy and you're dating a Odia girl, you can text in Tamil. She will read it in Odia, and she will text back in Odia, and you will read it in Tamil. Even that real-time translation feature is available on the app.
So how many percentage of the total people who are talking actually you think are getting benefited out of this vernacular feature? Are the people really, they do they really want to talk to the people from some other language? Because you know that is a beginning and the end, because when they meet they have to adjust with the language. They can't go ahead with that journey.
Yeah, you're right. So just to give you two data points, 92% of our users are from the language vernacular space, and that is very much in keeping with, let's say, Google searches. You know, Google searches in India, 82% are in the regional languages, and in our case, 92% of our users are from the regional languages. You're right. It's a very small fraction, maybe 4-5%, who talk to women or men from other states. But you know what has happened because of the language thing? Because it's a homogeneous group, our match percentage, which is how many matches you find, how many love stories begin on our platform, that is about 9.86%, as compared to Tinder or Bumble, which has less than 2% match rate. So because it's a homogeneous group, and I'm a Tamilian, and I see a girl from Nagercoil, I'm also from Nagercoil, she speaks Tamil, I speak Tamil, it's much easier to match and converse. So that's why our match rate is so high.
Okay, so what is your closest competitor?
As of now,
Is Tinder
nobody.
your closest competitor?
As of now, nobody. There is one Malayalam app from Isle called Adike, but it's only in Malayalam, and that's more of a matrimonial app. And there's somebody who's just launched called Hello. They've launched only in Hindi and Tamil, but their problem is they don't. So I'll tell you what their problem is and where we score. See, when we started this business, we realized that to onboard small town women, women from small towns, you have to create a very safe and private environment. Right. Now that meant that you had to create proprietary tech for safety and privacy of women. If you don't do that, then you'll not be able to onboard small town women. So what's happening with Hello, although they are in Hindi and Tamil, is that their women percentage is only 6%. Now with 6% women on the platform, you're not going to have a very healthy dating experience. So it's not going to. And why we are fast forwarding the patenting of our women's safety and privacy features is for this reason, that nobody can copy them. Okay, right? Because if you don't have those features, on small town women are not going to come on board. We have 22% small town women, and that creates a healthy dating experience. Unless you hit those kind of ratios, you may still do the language play, but you will not be able to have a sustainable business.
Kaushik, I have two small questions.
Yeah,
First question would be, what is Flutter's distribution of gender on the platform?
78-22. 78% men, 22% female. Uh, the global average is just to give you a comparison, Karan. Tinder in India is 93% men, 7% women.
Mhm. Okay.
That's the size.
And my second question would be, what would be the distribution of your active users, let's say in terms of demography?
Okay, so 90% of our users are between 22 to 28 years old. And when we launched the app first, we had launched it only in two languages, Hindi and Bengali. During in the Valentine's Day this year, we rolled out 14 languages. So a bulk of our users still come from the Hindi belt. But what is very heartening to see is that there are three areas, geographies, where the growth is fantastic. One is Tamil Nadu, the other is Punjab, and the third is Northeast. These are the three areas where the growth has been phenomenal over the last 3 to 4 months.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I have one more question,
Yeah,
Kaushik. You
yeah,
mentioned that you have a revenue of 90 lakhs and 350K are the active users.
yes. No, sorry, ma'am. 90 lakhs was last year, last financial year.
Yeah. So what was your margin out of it?
So
If
we
we
are a
look
digital.
at
So
your
yeah. So we are a digital product. So obviously our cost of goods sold is only the payment gateway charges. That is nothing. So you can say the gross margin would be 98%. Uh, Currently, as I said, the Manisha, we are doing 23 lakhs of revenue, and our total cost of the company, including marketing cost, is about 28 lakhs. So currently, we are burning 5 lakh rupees to 6 lakh rupees per month.
okay, and you had mentioned, sorry, I forgot how much is your CAC per user?
My CAC currently is after the introduction of the Times of India name in our ads, the CAC has come down to 3.5.
Okay, so now if I multiply 3.5 with your 350K active users,
No, no,
that should be your
3.5 is
expense,
now.
right?
No, Manish. This is 3.5 is
Yeah,
now.
this is Vibhuti.
After
Sorry, I had to log in from my husband's ID. Yeah.
okay, sorry. So Vibhuti, but 3.5 is now. And when we started, we had a CAC of 36 rupees.
All right.
So
Okay. So in future,
3.5
I
is
mean, in the
last.
coming,
Yeah. So
okay, so
obviously,
what
what
is your projection for the coming months? Like how much active new users and how much CAC and how much
yeah, yeah.
business?
Yeah. So that's exactly what I was explaining, Vibhuti, is that we have raised 4 crores and we are extending the round by 1 crore. So we'll totally raise 5 crores, out of which 50%, which is 2.5 crores, we'll put into marketing. Okay, right. As of now, my CAC is 3.5. So if I put 2.5 crores into marketing, I should be able to add close to 80 lakh or about 8 million users. Okay, right. So if I add 8 million users over the next 12 to 15 months, our our data shows that 60% of them remain active. So I should get about 5 million active users. At 3.5 lakh users today, I'm doing 23 lakhs revenue, which is about 6.5. So I should be able to reach a revenue of 60 lakhs per month once I have 5 million users on my 5 million active users on my app. And that will give me a profitability and 5 million users. And that's the time Vibhuti will go to a VC for a Series A, saying A, I have 5 million active users on the app. B, I'm a profitable company. Now I need a valuation of 15 to 20 million dollars or even more. And you'll be coming in at a valuation of $5 million now. So you get a 4 to 5x return in about 12 to 15.
Yeah, thank you so much. And you said that you raised 40 you raised the previous money at 40 crore pre-money valuation, and what is the current
Yeah, so
valuation?
Chennai, no, so we closed round at 40 crore pre-money valuation. Chennai Angels came at 40 crore pre-money valuation through a CCPS, and we are just extending the same round for another 1 crore. So no change in valuation now. So Chennai Angels got closed only last month, September end, sorry. Yeah.
Got it. Hope the questions that everyone, all the investors.
Anybody else? Yeah.
So any more questions will come back to you because we are just elapsing on the time. So for any
Sure.
other questions to the
Yeah.
Flutrr, definitely I would definitely pass it on to you, Mr. Kaushik and Mr. Anirban.
Sure. Thank you, Kaushik, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for giving us the time. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure to. Thank you so much. All the best.